Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer Show. This is a show where we talk about stuff, play you some music, and encourage you to be creative. This season, we are exploring the art of being human. We want to say thank you to our patrons who support us each month. If you want to know more about that, visit us on patreon.com/Chasing Ebenezer. For more information about our musical endeavors, visit chasingebenezer.com. We hope you enjoy the show. Well, welcome to another episode of the Chasing Ebenezer Show. That was smooth. We're towards the end of season 3, and this has felt like the season that will never end. But you know, humanity's that way too, and it's okay.
It's called we constantly derail our plans.
We do. We're true artists in that we take what we call detours. Some people call them getting distracted. Some people call it rabbit trails. But hey, I'm Benjamin, and this is Heidi, and we are going to talk to you more about things that make us human. So yeah. Heidi, what are you excited about?
Oh, shoot. I forgot to think about it. Let's see. Go first.
All right. Well, I ordered myself a new Bible. Okay. I know, and because I preach and I read it a lot, and I was inspired by you because you have one that has note taking on the side. And
that you got
that you can write in that I got you. So I got myself one.
Oh, nice.
But the cover has just got like all this really good high church like kind of art on it. And so for me, I love visual so much. So I'm excited about getting that and using it regularly.
Okay, I'm excited. I don't.
Yeah, so you can say you're excited about nothing.
I'm excited. I think I'm excited about the holidays.
Yeah.
I think I am. I think I'm trying to view it a little bit differently in a simplified but like peaceful way. And I got some plans, so. Yeah, I tend to, I feel like I'm doing a lot better. I think this is like the 4th holiday season since my mom died. Yes. So it's, at first it was like, oh, goodness, how. So it's nice to know that there can still be joy, even though that person that maybe was the main holiday person isn't there. So, yeah, I think it's a good sign that I'm doing a little bit
that you're
better.
Starting to take on.
Yeah, that I'm still remembering her and, but yeah. So
and I think we're finally starting to look into building some different traditions of our own.
Are we?
Well, I think so. With some of the holiday plans we've made, at least one of them is something I've never done before. So it'll be good.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah. Humanity.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. I hate that my reaction so often is like humanity. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It's not. It's great to be. It's good to be human.
Good to be human.
It's good to be human. It's what we were intended to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Okay, I had a really wonderful experience. Last week, I was doing a DoorDash or Uber Eats. I can't remember. I interchange them. So whoever I was driving for, I was just really needing to slow down because the goal is to go as fast as you can and then you're missing out on life. And so I had to wait for an order, and an employee at the restaurant I was at, he just pulled out a chair for me and poured me a cup of tea. And it was just so kind. And so just receiving hospitality, that's just such an important part of being human. And it was just really, the kindness of a stranger was really, really, really nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It was really good. And the tea was delicious too.
I got two.
I'm
gonna go.
You're
I'm gonna
allowed.
go for
You're
two.
allowed.
So the first one is I was talking to my therapist about anxiety because I noticed an uptick in my anxiety.
And she said, don't do it.
Yeah, she said, just stop.
Just stop.
But one of the things that kind of came up was we were talking about how much caffeine I consume. This is the 4th cup.
4th cup.
Now for me, for some of you that's just too dang much. For me, I'm restraining myself. And so I've started, I try to do only 3 cups of coffee a day and only 1 diet soda because I was doing more than that. And I've not done as well the past couple of days, but I have noticed I have felt calmer. I have felt more relaxed, and I've been sleeping better.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Because I had this,
It doesn't affect me.
The rules don't apply to me. I can drink coffee before I go to bed. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
But, okay, here's my question. You don't. How is it helping you sleep better? Because you do sleep. You do sleep.
I think I feel more rested when I wake up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was wondering. I'm like, I don't feel like.
And because once we got our sweet, sweet kittens, my sleep was getting disrupted every single night. In a good way, and I was more than happy, but it was, I just was like, I'd wake up or I'd wake up with anxiety.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And so now I'm waking up and, sometimes I'm human. I have anxiety, but I've noticed.
Less.
Yeah, less, which has been good.
So how many more cups of coffee are we going to have today?
This is it. I'm done. I'm saying it on camera,
right
so
there.
It has to be true.
Okay.
No, I'm seriously not going to. And I had another one. Oh, yeah. So we're talking about the body, how my body feels better after not having caffeine. The other thing that I've begun to notice is I'm starting to learn to listen to my body a little bit better. There's been 2 instances in the past week where I had plans that I had made. One of them involved recording with our bandmates. And on Sunday afternoon, I felt it in my body. You should not do this. You're going to overextend yourself. You're going to burn out. And I listened to that voice.
Good job.
And said no.
Excellent.
And there was another thing that I recognized that I did that with as well. I was like, I shouldn't get up early and go do this thing. So I canceled it. So when my body tells me to cancel plans, I'm starting to try to listen to it now to avoid burnout in the future.
Excellent.
Oh, that was good. So those are mine. Our theme for today is going to be about something that is a very human thing and something we all need to have and need to give. Forgiveness.
Forgive me.
Okay.
Forgive me, please.
If we look at if we look at our lives, if we look at every social environment we're in, if we look at our culture around us, when human beings get together for long periods of time,
they start to suck.
And they start to hurt each other, and whether it's intentional or unintentional. And so forgiveness is a really important part of being human.
Apparently, it needs to happen a lot.
It does. Both giving it and receiving it.
Yeah.
So what comes to your mind? What does forgiveness look like? What do you think of?
Blah, 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 blah. Well, are you saying the correct answer is?
No, I'm asking. I never am asking for the correct answer. I'm asking for the true answer.
Well, the true answer. I think
there is a difference.
I think a lot of times, it seems like it can be thought of as forgetting what happened, and that's not forgiveness. So I think that, and a lot of forgiveness instruction and learning that I've had is from Calvin and Julie Tadmet and Dan and Jody Mayhew. So if we say anything that they said, they get the credit.
Yep.
That forgiveness is not about not remembering or forgetting, but it's just really about in here releasing that person from whatever the debt is, basically, that they can never repay you. It's about what was the act of pain and betrayal, because you can't even forget, I don't know. But anyway, the other person, whether the other person is apologetic or not, is not dependent on our forgiveness. Like, forgiveness is about me, not hanging on to that and expecting that other person to make it right. Because a lot of times they can't make it right.
That's good. No, you're right. You are right.
I don't have to be right. What do you think?
What comes to mind is a lot of what you said.
It was kind of mumbo jumbo. So
no, but letting somebody, it's releasing somebody. It is like we've learned to name like what it actually was that they did. But the element of it that I really cling to is that I'm not letting what has been done to me be the defining thing of my life. What I meditate on, what I ruminate over and over and over again, because we can get stuck in a cycle
for sure.
of, and someone could have like legit hurt you, but this idea of like just replaying it over and over and again, getting bitter and bitter and more bitter, that ends up just hurting you. So that's what I think of when I think of forgiveness. Forgiveness is that, and I have a hard time with that because when I've been hurt, I can say the right words.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I forgive you.
I forgive you. And it's like, and it's pretty much that quick.
Sure.
But if I'm going back in my mind over and over again and thinking bad things about this person and rehearsing what that person did, I have to ask the question,
how could they?
If I've actually,
how could they do that?
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you can't, in order to fully forgive, you have to fully acknowledge what happened.
Yes.
Because I think that I don't want to be
minimizing,
slow to forgive. I want to be quick to forgive. But yeah, versus just saying the words versus, oh, that really sucked. This is the implications that it had. And sometimes forgiveness is like, sometimes you don't even know till like as time passes that, oh, this thing that happened years ago, now it's affecting this, and now it affected this. So sometimes it can be like, oh, I have to do it again. I have to forgive again because I didn't realize that when this happened 10 years ago, this thing now is being affected. So it can be an ongoing process as you realize more and more the implications.
So practically, though, what does extending forgiveness look like?
Well, it depends if they even know.
Right.
Sometimes I don't think a lot of people don't know that we're offended by them.
Right. So does that mean that it's a good idea to go tell them?
I think it depends. Hey, just so you know, you really offended me. I think.
But I forgave you. So
but I forgave you. So, no, I think if it's keeping it so, if it's a barrier to intimacy and you just can't move forward, then yeah, you probably need to talk to them about it. But sometimes most people, I don't know that I've hurt people. I don't have a clue. I'm walking around like a big old dummy. Yeah. So I think just weighing, is it a benefit to even let them know?
Yeah.
Hey, you really offended me, but I'm forgiving you. Yeah, right. But sometimes we need to actually have a conversation or an interaction. Like, so you have to weigh that. There's no formula for this.
Right. Yeah, and sometimes it's not just uttering the words. I mean, and sometimes it's almost like a decision. Well, it usually is a decision. You don't want to wait till you feel like forgiving somebody.
Because then you probably never will.
You never will. But
forgiveness is not a feeling.
No, it's a choice. A lot of times it's a choice.
Yeah,
and again, I think it's important that we say that that's not minimizing any level of trauma that you have experienced as a person.
Not. And just because you forgive someone doesn't mean that you actually ever need to
be in their life.
Right, yeah.
It might not be good for you to be in their life.
Yeah, right. Forgiveness
does
not mean that's not necessarily reconciliation. That doesn't that involves two parties. So you can forgive, that doesn't depend on what the other person does or doesn't do.
Yeah, and you might have to sometimes remind yourself oh yeah, I forgave this person.
Oh yeah, I forget.
Oh yeah, I forgave this person. So yeah, and you might have to do that a lot.
Note to self, I'm forgiving this person again.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is healthy. And
Kind of like, there's so many layers. There can be so many layers, like, I'm like, oh.
Well, yeah, because you don't even realize the damage that's been done to you.
Yeah, exactly,
right?
exactly.
So, like, as you discover more, that's more forgiveness to give. And
Yay!
I mean, I could talk about how I've been wronged all day and like forgiving people, but their forgiveness goes both ways because sometimes I do things that are wrong.
When would that ever happen?
And I have to be told and reminded. So there's extending forgiveness and then there's receiving it. So here's a fun question for all of us to think about.
I don't think it's going to be fun.
No, it's not. I read what I wrote down and I was like, how do you respond when someone confronts you?
Well, it depends who it is.
How do you respond when I confront you?
Not good. I'm not proud of it. not in a way that I'm proud of.
Okay.
But when other people do, I don't know. When other people do, though, I can tend to feel like self-loathing to a whole new level. So, it's like either defensive or like, I'm the worst person who ever lives. What's wrong? Yeah. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty defensive.
What?
When you confront me, I am.
No.
Because what happens is I think that, well, because I didn't intend to do that, if I just explain it, it'll be okay. No, it doesn't work that way.
Nope.
So, yeah.
I don't care what your intent was. I want you to understand
Exactly.
what you did to
I
me.
want to understand.
I want you to understand the depths of sorrow.
So sometimes it is a long process to talk through, and because I need to have understanding versus explaining.
Apparently, I have lots of feelings.
And that's okay.
Is it? Is it okay?
It is.
It okay?
It absolutely
is. And
is.
I can be highly dramatic, and I can be highly, highly, highly exaggeratory, and I cannot be calm and peaceful about it. So I need to go back and watch our last episode.
Well, and I think about when people who aren't you.
People who aren't me?
People who aren't me. Like, let's say it's, somebody from church or said, not confronts. Confronts is too strong a word, but points out something that I did that hurt them.
Mm.
I'm very apologetic and I'm receptive to that or to feedback. But then what happens sometimes is that I will do that self-loathing thing. It's where I'm feeling so terrible. And then my brain will go, where else have I done this? That kind of thing. And then it's like, oh man, I got to tell Heidi this. What is she going to think? Is it going to be worse if I tell you? So when we are confronted with things, the response is apology. So what does a good apology look like?
Mm.
Because I like to think that if I just say I'm sorry, that should end it. And I know I'm wrong.
Sorry. Well, I don't think that groveling is, I always appreciate groveling, but, I think it's a tough one, but, listening to how you hurt the other person.
Yeah.
That just because you didn't intend it, how it made them feel.
So rather than saying the words, I'm sorry, asking how that made you feel and seeking to understand, because I know that when I say I'm sorry, sometimes I'm just trying to shut the conversation down.
Oh, I know that you are. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of it.
And it doesn't shut it down.
Yeah. No, I think that it's just... Sometimes it's just difficult, but I think humility is something that I definitely need to work on that just because I didn't mean it that way didn't mean that I didn't hurt you. And I'm working on not being defensive. I think that the more and more, too, that I can work on my own inner person, and I think that the more we self-loathe or have lack of grace for ourselves, then that affects how we respond if we're confronted or when someone hurts us. If we have a low opinion of ourselves or are struggling with things, then it's really easy to despise those things in other people. I think you've shared that with me. I don't know if there's someone we should be quoting on that or whatever.
I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there is. But we often will be like, aha, they did this thing. But it can be the very thing that we do and that we don't like in ourselves. So it's just very, very messy.
It is. It's extremely messy. But the one thing I'm hearing you say, which I think is really
Tell me, because I'm not sure what I'm saying.
Is that a person needs to know what they're honestly apologizing for.
Yeah, exactly.
And the person who is hurt needs to understand why they're hurt. And sometimes they have to talk it out.
Well, and that's a great thing. Sometimes I don't know. I know I'm just hurt. And that's not always the best time to share. I know I'm just hurt. I'm just versus like, what am I really upset about? And am I upset about, I don't know. Now I can't think of any examples, but usually there's more to it below the surface than what I think I'm hurt about. So it's better if I can take the time to figure out what I'm really upset about versus just
I think I've had a realization.
Well, that's good because we've already recorded it once. Yeah. So that's the second time. So
I realize it even more. I realize it even more because when you and I get in a fight, because we do, my reasons for saying I'm sorry are usually because I don't want to hear the depths to which I've hurt you.
Sorry.
And
I just want you to understand
the
depths of my pain.
So it's like it's just like I'm putting something, I'm not actually getting to the root of what's going on. And that's important.
Because it hurts too much.
It hurts too much. Because I don't like the reality and the truth that even though I'm a nice person, I can still cause pain.
Alas, the human journey.
It's true.
It's all cause pain, generally unintentionally.
Most of the time.
So it just sucks to find out that you're the one who caused pain.
Yeah, but I think if we can accept that as a reality and be humble about it and know that, okay, that's the human experience. I'm going to hurt people.
And they're going to hurt me.
And they're going to hurt me no matter how perfect the relationship is.
Yeah.
So I think that's really helpful. Okay, so forgiveness... Because, what does forgiveness have to do with art and creativity?
I think that it can, whatever mental health and emotional pain all affects our creativity. We may not know it, but so whether we're not forgiving ourselves for something, that can totally affect things. So I think just as much that we can do in that way to release bitterness, not hold grudges. It just everything affects everything. So I think it's important. I think that depending on our upbringing, depending on if we came from a home or not where creativity was encouraged or not, that can totally have influenced our lives. So it can be taking stock of were there parental figures or relatives or teachers who discouraged our creativity or didn't promote it or help that and support it, then maybe doing a little inventory of are there any people who need to be forgiven. I know Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way.
I was just thinking about her.
Is a tool for that. So it seems like there's a lot of personal work related to not just the creating part, but like the artist care is essential.
Yeah. I was thinking about how when we receive wounds as artists, because we all do. We all have those moments of embarrassment, those moments where things didn't go well,
Yep.
or those moments where our art was not received. And sometimes instead of extending forgiveness, we respond out of rebellion. Like, I'm going to prove this person wrong. They told me I stink. Well, I'm going to stick it to them.
They'll show them.
When all that really does is you are constantly living in that person's shadow, that wound shadow. And so it's like, to really move and thrive as an artist, forgiveness needs to happen. And sometimes the act of creating, the act of doing art, I mean, art therapy is a very real thing. That can be a really great way of working through wounds. And sometimes being forgiven and receiving forgiveness and apologizing and understanding can free you to create.
Totally.
Yeah. So do you have any prompts?
Maybe read a story or watch a movie or go see a play that deals with that topic. There's tons of them to choose from.
Yeah.
If you need a suggestion, give me another minute and I'll or use that word forgiveness as your guide, as your prompts. Do you have one?
Yeah. And I'm sure someone else has shared this before, but the idea of, like, maybe before you would go to a person, write a letter to them that expressing all the things that have hurt. Because sometimes we don't know why we've been hurt. And so it takes writing to kind of figure that out.
You're not necessarily going to share that letter.
No. Don't do it as an email, because it's too easy to accidentally hit the send button. Song that we're going to do?
It's not really a song about forgiveness.
No, it's not. But it is a song about being present with somebody in pain, though.
Okay.
So it's connected.
That's good.
We can make any song fit.
We're going to connect it.
Yeah, it's a song called The Quiet that you wrote, and it's good. So,
thank you.
Yeah, I like
Thank
it.
you.
I like it. So anyway, thank you again, patrons. Thank you for supporting us. Listeners and viewers, thank you for watching us. We'd encourage you to just share what you're learning, share what you're creating. You can put it in the comments section or just message us personally, because we definitely want to know. So we love you, and we will see you soon.
Hush now, soft. Now hush now. Hush now, soft. Now hush now. In the quiet. In the quiet. I am reaching out. Just take my hand. You don't have to smile. We don't have to speak. We'll just sit here. We'll just lay here. We'll just be here. Oh, here. In the quiet. I can tell by your face it's been a bad day. All you need is my time. Oh, just a little time. There are no words to heal your hurt. All you need is my time. Oh, just a little time. Hush now, soft. Now hush now. Hush now, soft now, hush now. In the quiet, in the quiet, I am reaching out. Just take my hand. You don't have to smile. We don't have to speak. We'll just sit here. We'll just lay here. We'll just be here. Oh, here. In the quiet. In the quiet. In the quiet. In the quiet. Hush now, soft now, hush now. Hush now, soft now, hush now. All is quiet.